The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Forced from her post, the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine testified about the Trump administration's campaign to discredit and intimidate her before she was ultimately called home.
After 33 years of service to our country, it was terrible. It's not the way I wanted my career to end.
Marie Yovanovitch explained how she caught wind of a plan to undermine her reputation as corrupt Ukrainian officials worked in tandem with Trump's personal lawyer Rudy Giuliani and others to smear her for reasons unknown.
There's a question as to why the kind of campaign to get me out of Ukraine happened, because all the president has to do is say he wants a different ambassador.
She was eventually recalled by President Trump, only to learn that her name was later mentioned in that infamous July phone call with Ukrainian President Zelensky, in which Trump pressured the Ukrainian leader to investigate Joe Biden. According to the White House log of the call, Trump told Zelensky, the former ambassador from the United States, the woman was bad news, adding, well, she's going to go through some things.
I was shocked and devastated that I would feature in a phone call between two heads of state in such a manner where President Trump said that I was bad news to another world leader and that I would be going through some things.
Did you feel threatened?
I did.
As Yovanovitch testified about presidential intimidation, Trump fired off a tweet in real time, maligning her 3 decades of diplomatic service. Everywhere Marie Yovanovitch went turned bad, he wrote. That tweet was read aloud at the hearing.
I mean, I can't speak to what the president is trying to do, but I think the effect is to be intimidating.
I've been watching today. For the first time, I started watching.
The move, a bridge too far even for some of the president's conservative backers. Democrats warned Trump has opened himself up to a new article of impeachment.
We saw today witness intimidation in real time by the President of the United States.
And while all that was going on, the White House released what it said was a transcript of the very first phone call between Trump and Ukraine's Zelensky. A congratulatory call. It's pretty standard when you read it. What's noticeably absent, though, is any mention of the issue of corruption, an issue Trump said he was so concerned about, which is why he pressured the Ukrainians to investigate Joe Biden. Donna?
Jackson, this is just the beginning of the impeachment inquiry. What can we expect next week?
Well, next week it really moves into high gear. We're going to hear first-person accounts from people like U.S. Ambassador to the EU, Gordon Sondland. Sondland is overheard talking with Trump on the phone about the status of the investigations. We're also going to hear from Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, the decorated White House military officer who listened in on the Trump-Zelensky phone call. These are first-person accounts, and they'll likely undo Republican talking points that we're not getting a first-person picture of what really happened.